doing? Good afternoon. My name is Ronald Bird, coming to you from Foggy Bottom, D.C., George Washington University, here with our Movers and Shakers edition of Style Speaks. I have the wonderful, talented, and he even throws a nice birthday party too. We're going to say happy birthday to him, Mr. Dominick Alexander. Hello. Nice to see you, brother. All right. I can't say nice to meet you because we met already.
Yeah, we met already.
He throws a slamming party. How's it going today?
Oh, everything's sweet, man. I'm so happy to be here and be a part of this.
I appreciate you being here. I mean, we had a little bit of sunshine earlier. It kind of went away. It was raining cats and dogs. Actually, the last 3 episodes of Style Speaks had rained. I need to be picking better days. Mother Nature's mad at me for some reason, but I got my bright colors on just to make it a little cheerful. But next month is fall, September, so I'm gonna put all this away. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about the weather. We're here to talk about some style and some fashion. But tell me, where you from?
Well, I'm from Minnesota Avenue, Washington, D.C.
Okay.
You know, grew up all over the DMV area.
Okay.
Represent the DMV.
Okay, so you plan on staying a while? Are you gonna relocate, or you gonna do what you do here?
I lived all over the United States, man. Los Angeles, Atlanta, New York, man.
Okay.
So, you know.
So you did the West Coast. I did the West Coast and the South too. Didn't like the South too much.
No, Atlanta treated me real good. I lived out there for about 5 years. They treated me good.
Oh, did you? Did you? Okay, great. What years were that?
Atlanta, I was out there, I'd say like 92, 93.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're glad to have you here. Definitely glad to. Well, how did the whole photography piece? I noticed, I watch a lot of your works. I've seen a lot of your interesting pictures and photographs on Facebook, and I think I made a posting one day, and I don't know if that was for me, but I said, photographer, and he kind of corrected something, the art, he's an artist, and I'm like, whoa, let me correct that. Let me make sure I put artist in front of that.
Yes.
So how did you become, involved with the whole artistry of photography?
Well, first to start off, I'm originally a music producer.
Okay.
And I've been in the music game for a while.
Okay. Hence all those celebrities on your page.
Yeah, I met a lot of people.
Okay.
So, coming up in the music game, I was always around celebrities, working with them, producing them, the music. And one day I just sat back and then like, wow, I don't have any pictures of all these events I've been to.
Okay.
So I started picking up a camera and the rest is history.
Oh, okay, so you just picked up the camera based on the need to have, but you can't really be involved in the whole process and take the pictures too. So was that a challenge for you to, to be in the moment and be able to stand back and take the pictures?
You know what? When I first started off in music, I was in the spotlight for so long. I felt good, kind of like going behind the scenes.
Okay.
So it's kind of natural for me.
Okay.
It's a good fit.
Okay. Well, how did you begin to think that this was something that you wanted to, actually take on as a profession, master it, as you say, and get so involved in it? I mean, it was good that you had the availability to actually take the photographs and see the production in front of your face. But when did you decide that this was kind of sort of a career move?
Okay, let's take it back to like 1994.
Okay, let's take it back.
I was in a group called Question Mark Style. It was the first rap group I could see. We were signed to RCA Records. And I always had problems with the artwork. We had a vision as a group how we wanted to be looked at out as in the world, but the company just didn't bring it out.
Okay.
So I made it my deed to figure out how to edit, how to bring my art to life.
Okay.
So the world can see it. And it took a while. It's not something that I just picked up like.
Right.
I went to school. I took a couple of classes, and once I learned my camera inside out,
Okay. But it was on from then.
Oh yeah, it's still,
So it's not so much about your own vision or the productions and the entertainment pieces that you get involved. I mean, do you do this for? I mean, do you solicit your work? I mean, do you do freelance photography, or this is pretty much your own passion to kind of capture some of your own works?
It started off as just being a visionary.
Okay.
Just want to put my vision out there.
Okay.
But now I'm learning the business of photography.
Okay.
Event photography, fine art photography. I'm still learning that system.
Okay.
So just keep up with it.
Okay, well, we're going to stop talking about photography. When you talked about the whole you know, you dealt with a lot of musicians and that whole, you know, that whole game. So you see a lot of, I mean, you have a very interesting look. I mean, you look really sharp, all dressed to the nines the other night, and and as everybody was. But how would you classify your? I mean, you're a very artistic, creative person, but how would you classify your own individual style? If somebody was to ask you that.
You know what? I like to be sharp. I like to be clean, but I like a little roughness. And, you know, I like that finish.
Okay.
I like to wear a suit jacket, but I like to put on the rough jeans.
Okay.
You know.
Well, when you say rough, okay. Okay.
Like
Vintage equals rough. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta write that down. Note to self: vintage equals rough. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, right.
So that's how. So I mean, but you would say, you know, more casual than I mean, you know how to dress and dress up, but your look is more hip hop, more you know, dress down, casual jeans, you know, sneakers or whatever.
Honestly,
would that be a summation of just what your look is, your individual style is?
Honestly, I'll put on a t-shirt and jeans, and you know, I'm an editing type of guy. I'm always in the house. I'm always in my hotel room. I'm always working, you know, I'm always editing, so I'm not really out in the streets like everybody thinking, but they look at my pictures like, wow, you partying, everybody. Not really, I'm mostly in the house editing.
Okay.
That's where my work comes from.
Okay, but when you do go out, you tend to
when I do go
get a
out.
little eclectic. I mean,
Oh, yeah, stunt.
okay.
We stunt, you know.
Well, I guess I was just trying to get you know, how would you classify yourself, or how would somebody else deem you if I was to ask somebody else, you know, Dominick, this guy Dominick Alexander, I mean, well, what's his look? If somebody else was to answer that for me, what would they say?
You know what?
What do you think they'd say? Not from your mouth.
I know it's really hard for me to say that because I gotta leave that up to the people. I really haven't sat back and say, hey, what do you think about me? You know, it's really a hard question.
Okay.
So what do you think about me? You see me a couple of times.
Wait a minute. I'm the reporter here. I'm answering the questions. He turning it on me. Well, I mean, I think it's more eclectic. I mean, based on the photographs I've seen, this is the second time we've been in each other's company. You got a nice camouflage pants on, striped shirt. I like the mixed patterns. I like people who feel comfortable in whatever they put on. So I don't like anything that's already structured. You know, so for you, I see that you would be the same way. But you seem to be, you have more of a funky flavor, more of a funky look. So putting on a suit and tie, like the last gentleman I just interviewed, was just like second nature for him. But for you, I wouldn't deem that so much. You know, not so much, right?
Oh, now.
Okay, but you can do it when you got to do it. You know. Okay. Well, how do you perceive DC on the realm of, you know, you lived all over the place. You've been here a while. You're from here. So how would you classify DC on the whole as being like one of the fashionable places to be in your you know, surroundings? What would you say?
DC came a long way.
It's come a long way, right?
You got to think we used to rock gray and black all day. You know, New Balance, drop top socks. You know, that's all we used to work on rock. You know, but now people are into their fashion.
Right.
We're into our fashion.
Right.
As you see, we're into our fashion.
Right.
And I'm loving the way it's going.
Okay. So you think that, I mean, but you know, in comparison to some of the other hot cities like Atlanta, New York, you know, LA, I mean, we're holding our own. It's a very, I tend to think it's a very eclectic group of people, you know, even though the young people are kind of taking over the whole hip hop look at you know, your old schoolers maybe, so I guess I want to call myself old school. But, you know, I get into that too, but I mean, I try to be age appropriate. You know, I think the worst thing for a guy that's into fashion like me, because I like this kind of look, but I'm like, well, can I really pull off that look? You know, it may look good on me, but I'm like, is he trying to look young? Is he trying to, you know, you kind of worry about that. It's like people need to kind of stay in their range and look their age. You know, old men trying to look like they 22, you know. But I don't know, you know, it's just a whole personal thing. But I mean, you know, I don't let that dictate how I dress though. If it feels good, but I tend not to, because I'm a leather sole, hard show wearing shoe guy. Always have been. So I'll put on jeans, I'll put on slacks.
It's the money look.
And I like hearing that, you know, I like hearing myself coming down the street. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I want you to know I'm coming up for you.
That's right.
So, well, in that whole concept of fashion, and the perception, and when you go out and doing your whole thing. I mean, do you like? Are you into the whole fashion? Do you go to fashion shows?
Yes,
I mean, whether we talked a little bit about your own personal style and your own personal looks, but I mean, is it important that you see or you have that around you, people that are fashion conscious, if you will?
Yes.
Being a photographer and being wanting to snap good-looking people, I would hope.
Of course, as a fashion photographer.
Okay.
I want the best of the best of my models.
Okay.
I mean, I'm into the whole high fashion thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's just in me. This is how it always been.
Okay.
And I just want to put it out there to the world.
Okay. Well, so I mean, where can we kind of find? I mean, do you do freelance work? You say you're fashion. So tell us a little bit about how we can find you and what you're working on now.
Okay, the best thing to do is follow me on Instagram, The Elegant Hustler.
Say that again.
Facebook, The Elegant Hustler. You can also type in my name, Dominick Alexander. And just check out, see what's going on. Got a lot of things going on, man. It's just working on it, man. I just don't like to talk about it too much.
I know, he's a man of few words. I gotta pull this stuff out of this man. He's a man of few words. I'm like, embellish.
Remember, I'm an artist.
He's just too cool for school. Do they still say that?
I don't know.
Okay. Don't beat myself. Well, I'm glad you took the time out, man. Is there something, you said you just look out for you. You told us how to find you. I really appreciate your look. Like I say, and I really want to thank you again for the invitation to. You didn't have to do that, and that was really major for me because that doesn't usually happen, and I really appreciate you extending that offer to Michael and myself, and we had a really great time, and you really know how to do it, and I want to be on the list for the next one. I want you to just key me on, and they don't have to be once a year birthdays. I want all the events, e-bites and events and all that stuff. All right. Well, I'll thank you for taking time out today, Mr. Dominick. And this has been another edition of Style Speaks, our Movers and Shakers edition. And we'll see you next time.